See? So that there, see, it looks a little bit more that way. Pretty good.
Okay.
So that's where I got Brian tonight. You're a tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, big boy. I better watch it. I gotta get a slap right across the thing.
Oh, I'm a gentle
yes.
giant.
And this is like Voice of the Province. The Voice of the Province. There was what, 20,000 viewers?
Really? You think?
Here, there's only about 100.
100, is that right?
100,000. 100,000 if we're lucky. So anyway, we're gonna go on and we're gonna have we're gonna chat away. No editing, very raw. Go a little bit more this way.
Back a bit?
Yeah, like,
Right.
okay.
How's that?
Oh, yeah.
How's that?
And introduction, okay. Here we go. Ready?
Ready?
Okay, I have here Mr. Irving. Mr. Higgs. So sorry,
You want to start right out, don't you? Like
exactly.
that?
Right.
Yeah.
Don't strangle me. I might not survive this interview. Okay, right from the start. Right from the start, we're gonna talk about that. Okay, people talk about Mr. Irving, and you are not. You don't regret making a living. You said that.
That's correct.
And
In fact,
okay.
I'm rather pleased that I was able to make a living.
Yeah. And what do you tell people that they say, what were you doing for Mr. Irving? Who did you work for?
Well, I'm an engineer by profession. Went to University of New Brunswick and graduated as a mechanical engineer. Went to work for Irving Oil at the refinery, and immediately upon graduation, really. And I spent the first half of my career working in the refinery, did various jobs there, including engineering and in operations. And then in the early 90s, I went to the transportation side of the business, and then was involved in the ships the Irving Oil fleet, the trucks, the actual.
So you're very close with Arthur.
Well, I knew the family, yes. I knew the family, and I knew the managers, and my responsibilities involved the trucks, the ships, and the rails, and the bulk plants that we had throughout Eastern Canada and New England.
Yeah, I know, and Kenneth, where's Kenneth now?
Good question. I don't know. I would have last spoke to Kenneth probably, I don't know, I saw him at some event 3-4 years ago.
I always liked him. Arthur trained me good. But so people look at you and say you're an Irving puppet. What do you say?
I was an Irving employee, Charles. I didn't, I'm proud of the career I had. I enjoyed working for the company. I obviously have no shares in the company. I don't own it. No.
Now, how can you have shares? It's a private company.
You know very well how the company operates.
Mm-hmm.
And but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about delivering service and getting results. And I learned a lot that you're only good as the last day in terms of keeping your employment. So for me, I was always looking for a better way to deliver better service. And I do a comparison here quite often in terms of thinking that, Irving survived because of delivering the customers a better service and an ongoing quality of product. And in New Brunswick, we should be treating every taxpayer as a customer of the province. And government should be delivering a better service.
How much longer am I going to let you talk there? We're going to cut you off pretty soon.
Okay, that's very good. You just raise your thumb or something, and I'll just stop.
No, you were late there. No,
Yeah.
It's all right, But anyway, it's okay. Okay, we're going to go. And plus, the people that don't know that don't know you, don't know me. And you, I had a lot of tales. I had a lot of stories.
They know you have lots of stories.
Oh, lots of stories.
Yeah.
And you, when we first met.
Yes, that's correct.
That was hilarious.
That was, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you were introduced.
You got my attention, though, didn't you?
Oh, yes, and you got mine, too. I said, there's a finance minister, Mr. Higgs. How you doing? My name is Charles LeBlanc. How's it going? I'd like to have an interview with you. He said, no, I don't think so. I said, excuse me. I said, then you look at me and said, that was the past. We'll get to that later. And then you walk away from me. And I said, okay. So then I emailed my friend, David. And then I said, David, that finance minister, I'm going to hunt him down. And at the end, he the next day, hey, Charles.
I couldn't find you fast enough, could I?
No. David Allward. So I said, Charles, have you met the new finance minister? I said, no hard feeling. Danny William resigned that day. I remember that.
I didn't remember that
and
part.
You look at me and said,
but that's true story. What you're telling me.
And you tell him, of course, it's all true.
You had Premier Allward on direct dial.
Direct dial. Yeah. He broke the record, 27 seconds of replying to an email. I still got whiplash. Okay, so we had a history, and at first you look at me, I was in media, but that's okay. And then
you just stopped me on the street, remember? I mean, what was I to think?
I know, but you were what?
I said, what was I to think? You just stopped me on the street.
No, I stopped you at Centennial Building and walked
Yeah.
in. I said, my name, I introduced
Well,
myself.
right
But I
on
have
the
an
sidewalk.
eagle. I have an eagle. No, it was inside the Centennial Building. You wave at the commissioner. Okay, never mind that. So next thing you know, here we were. And then it's slow process we got. And then next thing you know, we'll get to that later, what you are now. And we're having this conversation. Now, you are born in Forest City.
That's correct. Well, born in Woodstock, actually. I
Woodstock.
grew up in Forest City.
Forest City. And
Right.
Forest City, there's a Forest City, Arkansas. Did you know that?
Forest City, Arkansas. Well, I'm not surprised to hear that.
No, I
yes.
rode a bicycle through it. So Forest City, Arkansas. And there's a forest that was 80% black. Forest City, where you're from, Higgs. Population 35?
7
7 person in Forest
in the
City.
winter. Picks up a little in the summer.
Okay. Higgs. Is that Scottish or is that Irish?
English.
England?
Yeah.
So you born in Forest City. We got to go right quick. How did you end up working for Mr. Irving? You're born in Forest City. You got
went to
20, you got
school.
20 seconds.
Went to school at Canterbury. Went to University of New Brunswick. Applied for a job in the province because I wanted to stay in the province. And there were a few jobs being offered, and Irving Oil was one of them.
Good. Okay, so you turn around. You're English. Can you sing?
I do sing a little bit. Yeah,
do
we're not
sing?
going to do that here, duet or anything.
I hope not. You
Sing with my daughters in different events.
and that's exactly what I'm getting at. That commercial there.
Oh,
It
yeah?
sounded like a scene from It's a Wonderful Life. Come on. I mean, come on. Do you go around the piano and sing?
Actually, you know what? We do, and okay, we do different. We at Christmas times we've done different plays and skits together as family.
Wait, so lightning is not going to hit you?
So no, it's not actually. And that was a very impromptu thing. It wasn't really staged that well.
You
Or,
expect me to come on, be honest with me.
no, I'm serious. We were interviewing. We were having a session at home, and the girls were doing different interviews.
Oh, yeah,
and one of them said, "Well, let's do a song," and so we did. And the one you actually saw on the
Commercial,
well,
the website,
on the
or
website
social media.
was actually somebody just did that from Nightfall.
You singing or you speaking French? I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear none of it. But anyway, never mind. We'll get to that later. Okay. So next thing you know, you turn around. You are Scottish. You are English. Me, I'm Scottish. Me mother's from Glasgow, Scotland. I'm half
Okay.
Scottish. Once you cross me,
You don't forget it.
I don't forget it. You, the leadership. That was amazing.
It's quite a day, wasn't it? See,
And
you had exclusive rights there. You were there all day, weren't you?
I was forced to stay there.
So I was too.
You were expected to be on the first ballot and say bye.
Well, I won't go so much as say that, but yeah, I was there longer than I thought I'd be.
I expected to go at the door. Hey, you're not media. I say thank you. I'm out of here. And that's it. You know, I was right inside.
That's
Then
right.
they almost threw me out about 15 minutes before the last ballot. I said
Yeah.
you're gonna have a hard time throwing me out.
Well, they almost threw me out too.
Yeah, I know. But
In fact, I didn't have a ride home at the end of it. My wife had left, and I was there all alone.
that was funny. Everybody, it's funny. No, but it's fucking hot in here. The funny thing about it is the videos. I'm the only guy that I focus on you. I said, okay, let's see how long this guy's gonna last. And I focus on you. And when I seen you win the second round, and having the Carr brothers and Jake Stewart and Ross Westmore walking by you, and you just standing there, and I even look at the camera and I said, hey, I expected them to support you, you know. You still hold a grudge on that, or?
No, Charles, I don't hold a grudge. To say it didn't hurt, it did. But the whole process is one that, you know, things happen and people take their positions and they have a reason for doing that. And so but you have to move on because it's a way that parties, elect leaders, and that's the system. And if you let that fester, I mean, you'd never be able to build a team to run government, let alone defeat the current government. So we've moved on.
It was amazing. It was amazing
Quite
to
a
watch.
day.
You going around, and I asked Dubé when he supported you, and I said, okay, how did it feel to spend $10,000? He almost cried. Anyway, never mind. I just got a flashback. Okay, now, they didn't go to Norton. They went to Monica, so we talk about that. How are you doing? How are you in history?
History?
Yeah, you good in
How
history?
far back are we going?
We'll soon find out.
You're probably better than I am.
Let's find out. Who was the last premier?
Who was the last
Who
premier?
was the last one?
You mean before Grant?
Yeah.
Ulrich.
Before that?
Lord.
Lord, before that?
Well, no, we had
No,
we had Sean Graham in the middle
Sean
there, then
Graham.
Lord,
Lord.
and then McKenna.
No. We had come to Ontario.
Oh, he was there for a short time, wasn't
1
he?
year.
Okay.
And then we had Frank McKenna
Yeah.
for that.
Hatfield.
For that.
Oh, Louis Robichaud.
Yeah. So, not all of them, you're the only one that's been minister, that's been there before.
There you go. I know what to expect.
You know exactly what's going on.
Well, I have a good idea.
You know is you're not gonna spend $100,000 for an audit.
Well, let's just say I won't be buying training wheels for the bike.
No, that's true,
Right.
that's a good one. And you won't be calling somebody from Irving Empire to do an audit or something like that.
Nope.
You know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is a good thing.
I think so.
You were the finance minister. You were there, and you look for money. I remember the time when Margaret Ann Laney got appointed. You were pissed.
Well, it was a difficult situation.
You were pissed.
I wouldn't be a good poker face, is that right? Is that what you're saying? Is that-
You were pissed. You were there. You were pissed off.
Well, but I remember I stated it wasn't my decision to make.
Oh yes, you made yourself very clear. I remember that. I remember that in the house. You stood up and you were you and Ted Fleming there. I don't. When it comes to be honest, I'm telling you, you guys were sorry. Flashback. Okay, you were minister of finance, Forestry Act. How is that going?
Well, Charles, I think we've got an opportunity to evaluate that and understand is it meeting the full expectations of its original intent. There was a big concern at that time with after the recession in 2008. We lost a lot of industries in the province, and here we had industries that with a different model in terms of supply. They were going to invest heavily in their businesses to stay running. And that's, it's 18, 20,000 employees involved in the forestry sector in the province. We didn't want to lose any more. The point was that that investment was made, and for the most part, I think all of the ones that committed invested, maybe not fully, but still are investing. Is it working to the way it was designed? We've had a number of complaints from from private woodland owners. We need to find a way to address those, and I've said that I want to look at the Auditor General's recommendations in 2015, because she had a whole list there in relation to our forestry, how we manage forests in the province.
But you go around the province, don't you see all these log trucks just going boom,
Oh
flying
yeah,
all over the place?
well, the business is going well, and businesses tell me. I mean, I've been around the province, right?
Yeah.
I've visited a lot
I
of
know.
different locations, and yes, the forestry business is booming right now.
Shipment.
But we shouldn't be paying tariffs to the U.S.
No, that's true.
We should not.
That's another thing.
If our system is not being managed, and it's proven that we need to pay tariffs, and that money should be staying in New Brunswick.
And Irving don't pay it.
Well, they pay less.
He's exempt, right?
Yeah, 10%, isn't it,
Is
Irving?
it 10?
And then the others are 20, I think, something like that. I mean, why is that difference? That's not fair.
Chipman says somebody from Chipman told me, an employee, that they have record cutting for forest, record, in that Chipman mill.
Yes.
Employ 150 people. And he's concerned about the forest. I mean,
So-
should we be concerned?
Well, I think you're asking a very good question. Should we be concerned? Now, I'm told by people in the business, and this is a broad section of people, that our forests are replenishing themselves, and if you look at the program over time, we're fine. Well, I'd like to know that in detail, and I'd like to be able to communicate that to people of the province, because we all need to know. So it's not good enough for just to hear it from a couple of the folks in the industry side. We want to have a method of determining how do our forests, how are they being utilized compared to other countries? Are we getting maximum value? And we need to be able to communicate that to
How about
the
the buffer
private.
zone? Should we make sure
Yeah.
there's a buffer zone to protect these lakes and these rivers?
Yeah, absolutely. Without question.
Is there somebody that's looking over it? Was that part of the deal when they said, okay, we're gonna?
There are requirements around that whole thing that would, as I would understand, that would very much clarify, but that's part of our environmental practice in the province. This is what's acceptable and not acceptable. Now, how has that report been written? Do we have, like DNR, are they monitoring this? Are we
Yeah.
getting reports? I want to see them.
Okay, show gas. you elected premier, is there going to be a Shell gas dumper truck in every county in this province?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Why is that now?
Because not everywhere wants it,
That's true.
but some places do.
But we need the money.
We do, but some places do want to proceed. And I would say Sussex area, Albert County, they would like to see a shale gas development project happening in their region. So if they want to see that happen, I think we should.
You will listen to the people
I
first.
will listen to the people in the region.
You're not going to go to the premier's office and
Nope.
demand Mr. Irving to start immediately.
No.
That's not going to happen.
Nope.
Okay, good boy. Did I say that? Good boy. There's no editing here. Sorry. Okay, Citizen Mine.
Citizen Mine, yeah.
Have you been there?
I've not.
You should.
Yeah, probably
No,
should.
maybe not. It's too much two ways. There is in nowhere land, and maybe you won't get
Well,
out alive.
I'm a backwoods kind of guy, right?
Oh yeah, that's right, Forest City. Yeah, that's right. No, maybe you should go there because I'm telling you, I went there with the ombudsman. It was public anyway. But Nippologan, right below, we followed a transport truck, and it was raining. Once we arrived there, Cindy Day used my picture. It was that much
really?
snow,
Really?
and it was a beautiful picture. But what I'm saying is so high, attitude-wise.
Oh, yeah.
The tail pond. If that goes, that's really, really up here. That's like Mount Carlton. That tail pond destroys. It's going to go right down the St. John River National Park, right up
Really?
down. Are you concerned about that? The environment?
Absolutely, I'd be concerned about it. So we need to look at that and make sure that there's a system in place that we can be sure that does not happen.
That's a political answer.
Well, it is political because I don't think we can
Talk to
ignore we can ignore development in the province. I don't think we can walk away, but I think we can put all of the steps in place to ensure, okay, what are the risks? And, is there always a way to mitigate all the risks? No. But is there a way to be sure we don't cut any corners? We actually invest strategically in the protection areas that we need to, and we build containment. Yeah, well, we need jobs, we need development. Well, the point is, you develop sustainably, you develop and you do it properly in terms of how you build it. So there should not be any shortcuts taken whatsoever.
And the natives are very concerned.
Sure they are, and for good reason.
The company wants to destroy pollute the area, the stream.
Not acceptable.
So are you trying to tell me that we could look at you and say you care about the environment?
Well, yes, indeed, and I'd be most
There's no
disappointed
lightning here?
if
You sure?
I would be extremely disappointed.
Don't hate me.
If you would think otherwise.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll see. Okay, don't get mad at me there. I'm just asking a question. Okay, now, why do we Acadiens have to fear you?
Je ne sais pas.
Oh, please, you said you won't speak French.
I have no idea why.
Why should we fear you?
I have
You tell
worked in
me.
this province now for over 30 years. But you know something, Charles? I gotta say this. Since I've been in government, since 2010 and being elected, I have a very different appreciation for the entire province than I would have had prior
When you ran for the core party?
No, well, back
didn't know
then.
much back
But that's no. I guess I was a young man. I was Premier's age then, right?
The core party wasn't that bad anyway. Well, go ahead.
Well, there were a lot of
There wasn't good
issues.
policies.
But what I'm pointing out is, I realized, and my wife and I have talked about this over the last while, saying, when I was working at Irving, so I'm working in St. John, I would travel up to Forest City, and basically my life was spent on the southwestern part of the province.
The blue side.
And so we traveled, but remotely, would we go, or rarely would we head up around the north. Well, since 2010, being in finance and traveling around the province numerous times, certainly being in this job, traveling around the province in different communities, I have got an appreciation now to saying, wow, isn't it sad how little the rest of the province knows about what we have here in the Brunswick to offer?
The Acadians don't even know what a blogger is.
Really? Well, I can't help that. That's your job.
But we have nothing to fear you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You have an opportunity here. I think the Marys, and you and I have talked about this, in our Anglophone system, when we are graduating such a small percentage of our kids are bilingual, in a province that's been officially bilingual for 50 years, I think that's disgraceful.
But if you're in St. John and you got the French immersion, if you got nowhere to practice it, you're going to lose it.
Yes, but the French immersion system's not delivering students that are bilingual.
But there's no way to practice it. That's the problem.
So what are we going to do?
Well, we'll have to talk when you're premier. Listen, during the election, how are you going to go up north?
How? How have I gone up north all around?
How are you going to handle the election? How are you going to handle the election campaign?
The same way I did a tour in February, and I went everywhere in February. I went all through
I
the
think
north.
you know where I'm getting at.
Well, are you suggesting that I won't be welcome to go?
I didn't say that. You put words in my mouth.
Well-
Sure, you work for Mr. Irving.
Are you suggesting?
Okay.
So why wouldn't I?
Maybe just be the newspaper.
So why wouldn't I be not only willing but able to travel throughout the
I
province?
want to try to help you. See, will you turn around and have a translator beside you and say, you'll go around and say, as your premier, I will defend the Acadian rights. Have somebody beside you and say, comme votre premier ministre, je vais défendre vos droits acadiens. Are you going to have a translator?
I will be working with people that are, let's say, well known in the area, because I would do that anywhere in the province.
Translator would be good.
But you know, Charles, when I delivered a speech in Shippagan not long ago, all in French.
Shippagan.
Oh, Shippagan.
They call it La Ville de Shippagan.
Oh, oui. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
All in French. I delivered. Now, my problem, what I find, is when I'm traveling and talking to people, I find very different tones of the French language. Or different. Every region has its own type of French.
Women accent.
That's a problem for somebody trying to learn.
Oh, oui.
And to listen to someone speak, boy, that's a challenge.
Just one. I give you 1 minute. Puis ton français est bon.
Oui.
Tu pratiques. T'as pratiqué.
Pratique, mon français, oui.
T'as pratiqué au Québec.
Ma française, c'est
T'as
OK.
pratiqué au Québec.
J'ai étudié en Québec.
Non, moi, les mots du québécois, français, don't answer
C'est
that.
différent?
Oh, speaking of that, oui, c'est bien différent. Si t'es élu, vas-tu éliminer le language commissioner?
No, I never said that.
Non, vas-tu? Will you?
No, that's not the plan to
I would.
eliminate the
I would.
language commissioner. But I do think we need to find a way that we have less tension around that office.
She
Right?
is nothing but trouble.
Well, you know, maybe different language commissioners have different ways of expressing issues, but I think that there have been problems created that have been unnecessary. And
Don't give me a political answer. I mean, Wayne Grant and.
well, you were going to get there anyway, right?
No.
Yeah.
I only got her marked there for once. Just the language commissioner. I mean.
What would you do with that office?
I would eliminate that all. It costs $500,000. What am I doing?
And you don't think
I'm
we're
not running for premier here.
So if you were premier, what would you do with that?
I would eliminate that office.
Because you don't think that office
No.
is delivering results?
No, it's not. What's his name before? The guy that was there before? Michel. What's his name?
Carrier?
Michel Carrier. And he did the stuff behind the scene. And we're going there. I'm looking at that clock. We're going. But anyway, Michel Carrier did the scene, behind the scene. Radio-Canada didn't allow, Moody Radio-Canada didn't allow David Kuhn in the language, in the debate, the election debate. They say he wasn't speaking proper French. You think you should be allowed there?
Yes, I think I should be allowed there, and I think it's unfortunate that we would rule someone out and say, well, you can't answer a question because you can't speak the language well enough. You know, all over the province, we have those similar challenges, right?
Yeah.
That people aren't allowed to do this or that because they don't maybe speak a language well enough. I think we have a mutual respect in the province, but what they'll rule on that, I guess time will tell.
Paramedic should be bilingual. I think that's la merde.
Every paramedic bilingual?
I think that's la merde.
You know,
You know what la merde is?
La Mad. No, I
La
don't.
merde.
What is La Mad?
Shit. La merde. Okay.
Well, I don't think every paramedic needs to be bilingual, and I don't think that's our requirements. And I think that we've overstated that in many regions. So we have a requirement, and I think that we need to look at that and say we need to be sure that our service. We've seen the number of ambulances at our other service, unacceptable, right? And what's the bigger issue here?
Exactly.
Providing the service.
Yeah. Do you think what's going to be the issue in this campaign? So far, I haven't heard none. Do you think language will be an issue?
I don't think so. I think the issue is going to be. I think it's cost of government. I think the spending for nothing. You know, the government is spending $1 billion more a year, and what do you got to show for it? Our jobs are going to be an issue. Our economic growth is last in the country. You know, I think that we aren't seeing better services. We're not seeing better results, and we're the highest tax province in the country. So you get to those things and say, well, what's better under the Gallant government? Can't point to it. Can't point to anything better.
What's the difference between a Liberal and a PC?
It's significant, you know, more so with this government than probably many. But I'll tell you what's different right now between, people will say, because that's an interesting point, so I need to elaborate on this a bit. What I get...
You got 30 seconds.
Okay, well, what I see quite often, people say, what is the difference? Asking that question to me. So when is the last time you saw a PC party have a leader of the NDP as chief of staff, have a president who ran for the Liberal nomination in Victoria Carleton, and have a lady who just joined us who would like to come from...
So you are different from the other PC party?
Absolutely different. We're a party for the province. Other parties are for themselves.
How much money do we have? How are you going to handle this?
Not enough. Do you want to make a donation?
You making fun of me, sir?
No, I'm not.
You're stereo profile. That's stereo profile.
That's a sincere request.
I'll give you a donation, a good boot if you get carried away too much. Not here, but I'm talking about once you premier. Then you get the RCC. See, we got carried away here.
Did I really?
Yeah, too much.
Well, you were asking me if I need money.
I'm just kidding. The money for special care home.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to have a problem with that. You were there.
Yes, that's right. Special care and nursing homes, right?
Yeah.
We're going down the wrong trail in the model. Building more nursing homes, cutting more ribbons on bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
We need home health care that pays a decent wage, provides the quality service in the homes where you live.
What about the justice system? How much money did we give to the justice system? I know, don't read the law, then there'll be no problem. It's not an issue. Do you think the justice system, we should study it and say, listen, provincial jail, forcing people to walk home, and all that?
There certainly seems to be some issues there, but Charles, I don't know to what extent it's costing us that justice system, but the issues that are brought to the forefront are real. I think in every aspect of what government does, we need to analyze the service being provided and see that it's going to improve. Justice would be no exclusion on that.
Political answer again, but that's okay. The mayor, you don't have to have a donation. The donation, you don't have to, the mayor, run for the city, don't have to say, like Michael Bryan, they don't have to say who he got money from for his campaign. Do you think that's going to change? They introduce legislation, I guess? Mm-hmm. You think that's good, the politician? Public doesn't know how much money the politician gets?
Well, I guess if I think of that, the elections in Brunswick need to know who's contributing to political parties.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's fair. Whether the public know or not, I don't know if that's the big issue, but I don't think people need to be governed so they're not abusing the system.
Stop the corruption, right?
That's right.
Drug problem. Is there a drug problem in this province?
Probably will be after July 1st.
Why?
Because,
the marijuana?
Because we don't know how we're going to monitor it for safety issues. We don't know what the police are concerned about their ability to detect. Health issues, the mental,
Oxycontin and all that.
There is a problem there.
You smoke marijuana?
No, but there is a problem there, right?
Yeah.
And the issue is related to the fact that they would say, 70% of our addiction problems are related to prescription drugs?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty sad.
That's very sad. Abortion, you for it or against it? That's a Facebook question here, right quick.
Is it really? So personally, I'm against it. I'm a pro-lifer.
Okay.
And that's my position. But in the sense of what we have for legislation today and where the system is set up, a lot of people in my own caucus would have different views, right? So I don't plan to prescribe my views on others.
Decline in healthcare, staff, doctors?
Why?
You were there. Was there a decline? Has there been a decline? You're premier, you're gonna hire more doctors?
Well, hire more doctors is one answer, but there's more to it than that. I think that we need to look at the billing numbers. In fact, I think we should be getting rid of billing numbers. We can't have doctors who are retired, working 30% of the time, taking a full billing number, right? So we need to analyze that. And I also think we need to analyze what is taking the time of doctors and how many patients are able to see, and how we make it easier for patients to get to see a doctor and have a doctor.
What is your policy for the Aboriginal issue? You got a problem with natives, like when they were forced to sign that tax deal with David Albert government, you were finance. How do you handle the native issue?
Well, I think the reality is that the First Nations are a big part of our culture, of our community, of our heritage. But I think they also need to play a meaningful role in decision making. I think that's fair. But I also think that they need to be part of the taxation system so that we're not treating one group superior to another in relation to businesses competing with each other. And that's where the taxation needs to be a fair model.
I think we should tax them with the tobacco. Put the price way up because the natives, they're smoking too much cheap tobacco.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yes, they die a slow and painful death.
So now that's not for good for them either.
No, exactly. Okay, now, I think we're almost done here. Oh, Jeff Card wants to know if he's going to have an office on the first floor.
Well, now, Charles, do you,
Oh, he asked me. He's on
Did he?
Facebook. Yes, he asked me.
you know, so you put it out there, right?
No, it's okay. Yeah, I did.
Well, now, if I got to give you a political answer here,
Go ahead.
yeah, well, I would think it's too early to make those decisions.
Okay.
Jeff Carr ought to worry about getting elected first.
Yeah, he's Jeff. There's a big difference between Jeff, Judy, and Jack. I don't know if this is going to go out, but we'll give it a shot. Do you think there should be a what do you call it? Publicist on an election? What do they call it?
Public spending?
When they have a vote, they
Plebiscite?
plebiscite. Thank you. No, I was focusing on that.
right.
It's still going. A plebiscite.
Plebiscite on different issues?
Yes.
You know, it's interesting. It's kind of American style program where they ask. I think it's important to find ways to get views. There may be issues that come forward that you'd like to get opinions on, but I don't think of any right today that we'd be putting forward. But I guess it's something that if there were issues coming out that we want to have a vote on, then it might not be unreasonable to consider it.
Did I see? I was focusing on that because see that there.
Still going.
No, I know. See that 30 minutes? I thought it was going to stop. That's why I was questioning. But that's
Okay.
all. Is there anything that I forgot to ask you?
Well, if you did, I'm sure you'll be back.
Is that an invitation? What, back after the election or back?
Well, if you get home and you say, shoot, I thought I wish I'd have mentioned this, asked this, then you call me back.
I'll call your communication person and just.
See, he heard it right here.
I know. There's about what? There's 4 or 5 people here, and then the Dominic Cardi on the side, and Kelly Almrock on the other one. Kelly, is he part of the NDP?
Part of the NDP?
Kelly, is he part of the PC?
No, he is a PC supporter.
Is he a PC supporter?
But I'm telling you, Charles, the point is, you're going to this election, you're either going to vote for a party or you're going to vote for the province. And our party is going to represent the province and a cross-section of the provincial interest.
You're honest, politician, honest. David Cohen. Are you going to have a candidate to approach him? Do you think a candidate?
We have a candidate in that writing.
Should you think there should be? David Cohen, did he prove himself to be a good psychologist? I mean, a good politician?
Well, I guess you'd have to ask David that. We have a candidate that's going to be running
No,
against him.
did you think David did a good job?
Well, again, he was a colleague for us in the legislature, with us in the legislature. I don't know that we were aligned on a lot of issues. There were a few, but I think we would still like to see our candidate win in that riding because the goal here is to defeat Brian Gallant.
You think there'll be a minority government, maybe? People Alliance? I'm just asking you for prediction. That's all.
I don't think so. I mean, I think there's too much at stake here. I mean, if we want to take a chance on a minority government, then the chance we're really taking is re-electing a government that is really, I would say, could go down in record as the worst government that this province has ever seen.
One more time. One more thing. Sorry. It just I was late. You were late, so
I was
now
late.
and you were late.
I know.
So
I'm
then
not complaining.
I'm all hyped up and going. One more thing. You took your nice picture when the session closed. Nice PC picture. All the PC MLAs.
Oh yeah.
Who took that picture? Is it Jake Stewart?
Oh, maybe he wasn't in it.
I know, but
Yeah,
did he
he'd
take
probably
the
take the
picture?
picture.
He took, no. So I get it.
I got it.
So,
Yeah, he took a nice picture.
yeah, nice picture. So,
Yeah, really good.
So if he goes to nomination, are you going to sign his papers?
Absolutely.
So there's nothing between.
No, Jake is a passionate young man that represents his riding well and represents the issues of his riding, and I don't fault anybody for that.
Not even when he walked by you there at the leadership.
That's history. That's all over. That's all over. You build a team, you put a plan together, and we have one goal. And our goal is to put this province on a better track. And the only way to achieve that is to defeat the Liberal government.
So you haven't shook hands for the last half hour. I think it's safe to say.
Oh, we're all right to shake hands?
All right.
Oh, wow.
You agreed. You didn't
Yeah.
shake hands to nobody. You agreed like that. Okay, so that's it.
All right, Charles.
How'd it go? Any editing we have to do?
I think we're done.
Done, and you're not going to sing, and you're not.
Well,
gonna speak
I was going to,
français,
but you didn't invite me.
Okay, and the français.
Français, well.
You want to translate
parle
it or
français,
chiac? Want to translate it or chiac?
Well, the shack, I think, is the one I'm going to master.
Half
When you think
English,
about
half
it.
French.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Stay tuned. What's your website?
What's my website?
Yeah.
Well, on my GNB.
No, what's your
Yeah.
the PC Party website?
Yeah.
What is it?
www.pcnb.ca.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay. Talk to you later.